Just bounce to this.
Hey, what's up guys? My name is Brandon Clements, and in today's tutorial I wanted to take a look at using Mesh Fusion to do some pretty complex subdivision booleans, which is just kind of crazy to me that Mesh Fusion works so well. I was working today to create this Captain America shield. I thought it'd be a fun shape to do, but I'm kind of late to the party for the whole Avengers Age of Ultron excitement. But anywho, today I thought it'd be a fun little asset to take a look at. So let's dive in and see how we can do this shape with using Mesh Fusion in Modo 901. So the bad thing is I did not have my screen capturing software going at the same time that I was modeling this, because I was just kind of wanting to have some fun with Mesh Fusion to see how it worked. But then at the end of the whole process, I was like, man, I should just make a tutorial out of this because it's looking pretty cool. So I wanted to share some of those ideas about how I created this shape. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new scene, and then I'm going to go over to the Fusion panel, and I'm going to say the cubic geometry. I like using this stuff in here. And I started out with just a simple shape like this. And if you jump over into your side view, you can use some of these different fall offs. I think I was using linear. You just kind of drag it out. So I can turn on my snaps too to be able to snap to the grid. So if I'm using something like this, and then I'm in component mode and I just kind of slide this down. Let's see something. Oops, you can see I'm it's going a little lopsided. So let me actually jump up into my top view. There we go. But now when I move it down, you can see how I actually got that shape for the shield. And it was just kind of a lot of tweaking, and I still do not have my fall offs lining up correctly. But let me see with my snap. We are, oh, well, it would help if we were actually set to the grid. This would snap a lot easier and work a lot better for us. So if I got a snap to the grid, let me jump into my top view real quick and do the same thing here. Okay. Yeah, and then you can get that kind of basic shape that you want for a shield. And then it's pretty easy to just, once you have it all rounded and nice, it's easy to go ahead and I'll turn that off real quick. I'm going to select all these polygons here. I'm going to hit Control C. I'm going to hit N on the keyboard as in new mesh item. And then I'm going to hit Control V to paste that. And you can see we can, just by invoking the move tool in component mode, we can kind of shove this down and start tweaking the shape of this to be kind of the section underneath of it that's going to be cutting into it. So we can rename these. We can name this shield shape, and then we can name this one like cutaway shape, just so you can kind of keep those organized. And then go ahead and invoke a new Mesh Fusion, and then we're going to do subtract. Okay, and it's going to run it, and I always do this. I did this in the last tutorial when we did the grandfather clock. Basically, we can switch A and B. That's what I'm doing right here in the item tree, okay, or in the item list, I should say. And then you can see that we kind of get this underneath shield shape, and you can select the strip and then start tweaking the shape of that strip however you want that profile to actually look. You can do some really cool things here in Mesh Fusion with this. And you just kind of keep building on top of this. So let's go ahead and add another shape. So we'll go to the geometry rollout that we have, all these preset stuff. We'll have a tube. So this is kind of how I did this, the slats, if you will, the kind of sections in between. So if you want to actually go ahead and do the active meshes and have the lines on it, we can see what we're doing a little bit better. And I'm just gonna right click and hold and hit L. Sorry, I'm just gonna right click and hold, hit L. And then I'm gonna go to the bottom and I'm gonna do those two and hit L, and then I can hold Control Shift and double click, and I can select all those polygons inside, which helps a lot. And then we can kind of scale this outward, something like that. Maybe we don't need this line, so I'm just going to go ahead and get a new selection. By the way, I just hit backspace to delete the edge, and then I'm going to delete the edge back here. Sorry about that, we're kind of going back and forth. Select the loop, select the loop, Control Shift double click. Okay, and then we can scale this up. We get this kind of nice and close, and then it looks like we need to add another loop here as well, another holding edge, so no big deal. There we go. Then we'll do it here on the bottom. Okay, so we're at 3%, so we can go all the way to 97%. Okay, and then when we smooth, we have this nice edge. We could do this again and have a better holding edge down here. We'll go to 3. And then we'll go back up to the top and we'll do 97. I'm looking up here at the little gizmo right here when I'm counting off those numbers. Okay, so then we have like a shape that we can cut with. So I can just place that there. I'll go ahead and turn off the lines drawing over it. And then you can see here where we switched A and B. I'm going to kind of move those guys back around. So we're subtracting the bottom part with this red icon here. And I want to go ahead and grab my Q2 long. We could rename that. That's kind of a funky name. But anyways, I'm just going to click and drag this into the subtraction slot. And you can see there, let me do it one more time. We actually get some different options if we just let it hold. Okay, so we have all these different options here, but I'm just going to do just a regular drop. Okay, and then I go into my component mode, and then I'm going to kind of just get this into position to where I want it. So something along the lines of that. Maybe we can pull it down just a little bit more to cut in. Okay, cool. So then I basically just went through and adjusted. If you're in item mode and you hover over, you can see that you're not getting the strips to show up. So if I do update strip items, then we'll get that now. So we're just basically telling Mesh Fusion, hey, check again, because I'm sure that we have another intersection there. And we can get that width to however we want in the profile. And, you can get this close, but we're working at kind of a lower res solution right now. You can see down here we have about 30,000 polygons in the scene. But once you actually get everything going and you start cutting away and you're building your tree out, then you have all these different intersections. You can go ahead and just increase the subdivisions by you just hitting D on your keyboard. And you can see once I hit D, we get a lot more resolution to work with, and we can kind of go to the shield shape as well, and watch when I hit D, you can see things get a lot smoother. So you're adding more resolution into your geometry, and you're creating a harder cut into that shape. So if we look back at the other example, and you can see that I've went through and I've just tweaked my shapes as much as possible, and I have 2 different trees. And the way you can create another tree is saying New Mesh Fusion, and if we look down here in the item list, I have the shield. Okay, so this is just the shield, the actual grooves that cut out that shield, and then I have the actual star that's located in the middle. So I had to create the star shape from scratch, which didn't take too long. Again, Mesh Fusion works. I wouldn't even recommend going out of these rules. Quads, and keep them enclosed. So you're creating normal shapes if you're creating a custom type of shape like this star. But you can see by using an intersection, I got this awesome rounded star right here on the top of the shield. So pretty awesome stuff. And I know this is kind of a quick tutorial. It's not really a tutorial. It's more of an overview of how I did the shape. But if you guys have any questions, please let me know. But in the next tutorial, let's take a look at how we can actually render this shield out, and then I'll provide that scene file for you guys to kind of learn off of. So I'll keep everything in here for the Mesh Fusion, but in the next tutorial, let's go ahead and do some texturing and lighting, and then we'll render out this shield. So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot, guys. Remember to comment if you have any questions, subscribe to the channel for more updates, give this video a like because it really helps me out, and tell everyone about it. And let's build a bit better community from what we have already. So the channel's still young, and we're still going pretty strong. So I'm happy to see all the comments and everything that's been provided already. So let's keep it going, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.